I was terrified. The thought of her dying in an hour's time is something to be concerned about.
Tonya Morrison and her husband Paul have been attending church with her parents, Dwayne and Kay, for years. That Sunday, their pastor had an unusual and ominous message for Tonya.
And suddenly the Spirit gave me Tonya's name and said to Tonya that the Lord was holding her in the palm of his hand. She was going to face some problems in her life that she really wasn't even aware of.
We just couldn't imagine what it was going to be, and we did not know that within 24 hours that this would happen.
When I heard what Brother Walter said, I thought it was an amazing blessing for Tonya. I certainly didn't think it was anything to do with a medical condition that she had.
In 2017, Tonya was diagnosed with diabetes insipidus, an uncommon disorder that causes an imbalance of fluids in the body. The day after receiving the message from her pastor, Tonya woke up not feeling well. Her doctor was concerned about some recent lab results and insisted Tonya get another test. Then, on her way home, she became very ill and could barely move. Her doctor called with urgent news.
I heard the urgency in her voice. She said, "Daddy, I need your help real badly. The doctor just told me I have water poisoning, that I need to get to the Murfreesboro Hospital within an hour. It is a matter of life and death." I remember her using those terms, matter of life and death.
Tonya's father, Dwayne, who lives nearby, swung into action and raced her to the Murfreesboro Hospital to get her there before it was too late.
I would look in the rearview mirror and see my daughter basically unconscious, and I was praying for her, and I'd say, "Lord, I know you've got her in the palm of your hand." And one of my favorite scriptures that was coming to me, "He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." And we knew that the Almighty had our daughter in his hand.
They made an hour-long drive in just 25 minutes, and when they got off the highway, they hit 7 green lights in a row before arriving at the hospital.
They pulled up to the emergency room. I opened the back door. She was unresponsive in the back seat. It was completely scary to see her just unconscious.
Doctors determined that due to her diabetes, Tonya's sodium had dropped to a life-threatening 112, causing her brain to swell and lose consciousness.
Nobody else had ever left the hospital with her condition alive, is what they told us. So we were, really praying for her. Just praying for the Lord to take care of her, to bring her back to us, and we were not ready to lose her.
We were depending on the power of prayer and knew that we were asking for a miracle, and we knew we had a lot of praying people that could pray, and that the Lord could answer prayer, and that he had all power, and that he was going to keep her in the palm of his hand and perform that miracle. We needed one.
I immediately thought back to the words that Brother Walter had spoken over Sunday, and so I felt comfortable. I knew that she was in God's hands, and nothing could really be bad, but I was concerned.
Over the next 3 days in the hospital, Tonya's sodium levels came back to a safe range, and she began her recovery.
When I came to, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the hand of the Lord, and that he'd spared my life. And that was what Brother Walter, when he had that word of knowledge the day before, I knew exactly that's what it meant, and that God had spared my life.
He came through for us that time in such a magnificent way, and we are so thankful that the Lord demonstrated his power by saving our daughter.
It was wonderful seeing her, knowing that she was still alive, and she was a miracle. She was a miracle.
I think one of her favorite songs is "I Can't Even Walk Without You Holding My Hand," referring to the hand of the Lord. And Paul, her husband, had her one hand, and the Lord had her other hand.
I'm thankful that God carried us through that, and that he gave me a life with Tonya.
Tonya remains thankful for God's encouraging word that provided a source of hope during a terrible situation.
It's hard to describe the gratitude and the love you feel, and just knowing the love he has for you, that he did this, he spared your life for a reason. And now he has your life, in his hand, and he had me in the palm of his hand. It's just a miracle, because when you watch how it played out, and that the day before, in 24 hours from the time that was spoken by my pastor, I was in the backseat of that car hanging on to life, and how he can turn that around and heal you. and it brings glory to him. And that's what's, important. It was all for his glory. He had a plan, and it was all for his glory.